Hi guys. Hi Angel Babes. How are we doing? Um this is my second time recording this video, but it's okay. Wow. The first recording was actually pretty heavy anyway, so I probably wasn't going to post it anyhow. But yeah, 2 videos in one day because I just feel like talking. I think it's just because I'm alone again and it's really weird, and so I'm just talking to kind of feel less alone. And the vlogging does kind of help make me feel like I'm video chatting with a friend or something, or like I'm interacting with friends. And another reason for the video, the vlog, the video diary, is also to help me remember stuff, but also to because you know, um, my train of thought, things going on in my life, and my feelings and thoughts about it. Because my memory's starting to slip, and plus I think it can be educational because of scientifically, because I don't know, I have a lot of conditions and a lot of psychological and neurological issues and stuff like that. And so I don't know, I feel like it might be interesting from a scientific or data standpoint, to note, these experiences and notice similarities maybe in other people's experiences. But anyway, I feel really accomplished today because I did the dishes. I didn't do them all yet. The dish rack is full, and I had to take a break for lunch, so I've had some eggs, which were very yummy. I fried them in the skillet. I had 2. And then I had them on 2 of my keto, mini tortillas that are chipotle flavor, and they were really yummy. Let's see, my ginger ale is sufficiently flat. It's been a few hours. And yeah, so that's pretty much where I'm at with it. And I don't know, I just feel, I don't know, particularly, I don't know, just talking. I'm not sure what I want to talk about exactly. I just feel like doing it, so I am here now doing it. And I'm out of ginger ale, so now it's time to go back to my fancy Coke, but it's only got a little bit left, and I'm like, I must ration it at all costs. Wow. I know that I talked about, growing up a little bit, in the content that I like to watch on YouTube and otherwise. I remember that's what I was talking about in the last video, but I just get way into over-explaining myself and then trauma dumping, so I'm not gonna do that again, because that was kind of it was heavy, and that's not what we're here for. We're not here for the heavy content, as far as I'm aware. I'm trying to be positive here. But yeah, I don't know. I've watched Amberlynn's newest video, and I enjoyed it. I can't tell if she's lying again or not. I can't tell, and frankly, I just don't care. I really don't care. Oh. Well, golly. But I don't know, I'm not bothered by it. Mostly because, I don't know, I just don't take any YouTube content really very seriously. And as long as you don't take it too seriously, when it comes to, personal vlogging type stuff, as long as you don't take it too, seriously, then, it's not actually a big deal, I don't feel like. Because, it's her life ultimately. I hope that she gets better, and I hope that, she overcomes her eating disorder. But ultimately, it's her life, and nobody can make her, and being mean to her is not going to change anything. Pointing out what she already knows is not going to change anything. I don't know. Maybe, like, my opinion is wrong. Maybe it's right. Maybe it's both. Hard to say. But, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Although, I did very much like her nails. I'm personally more of a fan of that nail shape rather than the squared edges. Um, but that's just me. I just like the witchy vibe that those nails give when they're that shape. Although the silvery look is very interesting. I'm not personally a silver type of person. Like, I'm not really a silver girly pop, but I prefer, like, warm tone metals, like gold colors and rose gold colors. And I could even deal with some copper tones. But I am not really big on silver. It's too cold of a color, in my opinion. Like, it's too cold toned. So I wouldn't personally do the chrome nails, but they suit her perfectly fine. My skin tone is very different. It, like, cold tones don't tend to look good on me, in my opinion. And I'm not talking like, oh, cool colors, warm colors. No, I'm talking tones. You can still have a blue and have it still have a warmer tone than another shade of blue right next to it that might have a cooler tone. So yeah. I look better in warm tones, in my opinion. Also, I got these pimple patch things because I compulsively pick, so I put them on it to protect, because if there's a thingy there, I'm going to rub the thingy there instead of picking at the actual skin, so I'm not making it get super red and angry and inflamed and making the situation worse overall. So, yeah, I feel like I'm onto something when it comes to, like, fixing my picking habit. Like, it's why I have as many scars on my face. I really hope those scars fade. I'd really hate to have those scars later on in life, but if I do, it is what it is. I could be like some of those distinct actors who, like, you know, have a very specific scar, and you, like, recognize that scar very specifically. I don't know if that sounds dumb. Or maybe that's just me. I don't notice people's faces as a whole. I don't recognize people's faces as a whole. I recognize pieces. So I'll be like, scar there. Teeth look like this. Lips look like that. And as a result of this, I'm actually incredibly good at drawing portraits. And I'm very good at drawing people, because I notice each piece individually instead of as a whole. And I don't know if that's, like, a healthy way to look at the world, though, because, like, I don't know, it feels like I look at myself in much the same way. Like, I deconstruct myself just as much as I deconstruct everyone else. It's like all we are is a combination of parts and features. But isn't that all everything is? This Coke is so good. I'm going to be so sad when this bottle is empty because I don't have another bottle. I had to go all over everywhere yesterday to find it. Like, I went to every store on my side of the river. And then I went to multiple stores in Ohio until I found it in multiple stores in Ohio. Sometimes my ears itch. I don't know why, but it seems to be genetic because my grandmother, my mother's mother, she always had itchy ears in life, and she always used all kinds of crazy things to scratch the edges, which apparently is something I do too. It bugged me. I can't stand itching. Can't stand it. I'm not sure if my online presence is gonna, like, cause problems in the future when it comes to employment, but I'm hoping not. Especially if all I'm doing is modeling, I think I could get away with, like, being online, too. And honestly, I think it would give me an edge, but as far as acting goes, for any big studio or some company or something, they're probably not gonna be interested, like, except, like, sometimes having me as, like, a guest star in certain things. Maybe if I were to become big enough, but, like, I don't know, my online presence would probably be problematic for the likes of Disney and potentially Nickelodeon, but I could still sit and, like, let myself believe, right? It's really cold out today, and it's, like, snowing, and it's so gross. I hate it. Oh, there it is. Wow. I don't think I have anything else to say. Other than trauma dumping, I have nothing else to ramble about. Huh. Oh my god, I'm not even a person. I have no personality. That's a weird thing to realize, isn't it? To just suddenly have it dawn on you that you're not even really a person. Like, I don't know. I feel like all I am is, like, this facade. You know, like this carefully constructed facade. And everything inside is just driving the meat suit's actions. It's just, everything is just careful. It's a balancing act. One must exercise extreme control. That's actually how it feels. Like, everything is very cautious because everything, I always have to be, like, in control of the situation where I'm involved, you know? Like, I like to try to control my space, how it's organized. I like to try to control my food. I'm actually, like, I have a lot of weird rituals around food. But most of them are, like, OCD or autism related. Like, I like to use specific utensils because it changes the experience with the food. Which, that's probably just my ARFID weirdness. But I don't know, like... I don't know, like, I feel like I have to be very careful to control my emotions at all times. I have to keep a calm demeanor. I have to always be, you know, liked and good and calm and happy and helpful and, you know, just likable. I don't know. And I don't know, it just feels like there's a lot of pressure to, like, be perfect. Or be as perfect as I can manage to be. And so I'm, like, cautious about how I say things because I recognize my words have a lot of weight. I'm cautious in how I conduct myself because I know my actions similarly can have a lot of consequences, and they too carry a lot of weight and responsibility. And I don't know, like, I don't know if I'm like this because of how I grew up, So maybe we will get into trauma dumping. Ooh. Time to overshare. I'm so sorry I'm like this. I'm so tired. I really am. But I don't know. I feel like these videos might be educational, even from a psychological standpoint. But yeah, like, anyway, I got a new pin and I keep fidgeting with it. I just, like, I don't know, like, I've always had to have an extreme amount of control. I was never allowed to lose control. I was never allowed to not be in control of myself, my actions, or my emotions, even as a child. I was not allowed to cry. I was not allowed to have outbursts. I was not allowed to, step out of line. So I have always had to have very cautious control, like careful control, of over how I, like, conduct myself and how I behave and how I express myself and how I word things, because I've always had to walk this very gentle, like, I was always walking on eggshells. I've grown up walking on eggshells. I've walked on eggshells my whole life. And even though I don't live there anymore, I haven't lived there since I was 18. I graduated living in my own apartment. Even though, like, I don't live there anymore, it still feels often like I am walking on eggshells, and it is something that I'm just doing on my own. Like, it is just so ingrained in me that I just can't stop behaving so cautiously. Like, I overthink everything. I'm like, okay, I need to, like, deliberate on stuff for, like, days on end, and sit there and pick it apart and dissect it and digest it and, like, really, really, really break it down as much as humanly possible so that I can fully understand all of the nuances of it and also understand, what the right course of action is, calculate, how all of the outcomes for every potential choice. Like, I'm very, very cautious when it comes to making my decisions. Like, I don't know. I just don't like to be too impulsive, I guess. Impulse wants me to do one thing, but I don't know. Sorry, I wanted to take off the jacket. I was tired of fidgeting with the pen, and I was scared of it being too visible. It's nothing, like, political. It could identify the greater region that I'm in. So yeah. Anywho, and it's not like I'm, like, hiding or anything. It's just, I don't want people to, like, if I were to, like, become a bigger channel, I wouldn't want people to be able to just, like, show up or something crazy. Or some people to harass me or something. Because, stalkers, they get fixated and they get in their head that someone's, like, there's a relationship there where there's not. And, it's it's not the fault of the person, like, the object of their obsession. I don't believe in victim blaming. But sometimes they get over zealous and they do crazy things. Like hurt people, scare people, kill people. And I just want to make sure that nothing like that happens to me. I mean, if it does, it does. That's life. I know how awful that is to say, but, like, I know that I can't control everything. Like, I try to control everything about myself, but I can't control everything outside of myself. I can only do my best to try to be cautious. So, like, if some crazy axe-wielding murderer came chopping down my back door and, like, came and chopped me up or something, I have no control over that, and it sucks, but, like, what could you do? Like, all I could do is fight back the best I can. And I'm sorry, but I would probably post that video, especially if I win that fight. Like, I don't know. I guess I want the world to know how I live as well as how I die. Like, in case, like I said, it could be educational or informative, or even there might be other people who think they're crazy because nobody talks about some of this stuff, and, like, I might make them feel less alone, or might help people consider things in a different perspective than they might have ever considered things before. So that's, like, really my goal, I guess. It's multifaceted, and yeah, I guess if it can help anyone, then I'm happy. I really, really like to be able to help people, even if it's only helpful on an educational, scientific basis. I can still be happy with that. If it makes people feel less alone, I'm happy with that. Genuinely. Even if all I am helping is just, like, I don't know, my handful of subscribers that I've got now, like, that's still a lot more people than before, I don't know, I really want to leave a good impression on this earth, and I want to not be forgotten, and I feel like that is the other motivation behind this, is I recognize my body is failing. I recognize that I'm not in control of my life as much as I would like to be, even less than some people are. I can't work anymore. Not realistically. If I push myself too much, I have to be prepared for the consequences of that. And sometimes I do still push myself too much, but I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to work on setting hard boundaries and listening to them myself instead of letting people, like, setting boundaries and then just disregarding them when people put a little bit of pressure and try to, like, guilt trip me or something. I don't know. But yeah, like, I don't know. I want it to be known that I lived. I may struggle, but I don't want to die and be forgotten and be someone who never got to really be known, because I don't get out much. So, I don't know. Maybe that's, like, really depressing. But yeah, like, growing up, I always had to be perfectly in control. I had to control myself. I had to control my siblings. Because, I was raising them, and Dad didn't want to hear or see us. If we were heard or seen, we were punished. So we had to learn how to be very contained within ourselves, with our emotions and our feelings. And it makes it a little bit harder to connect with people, because I can't seem to regulate how much is too much to say and how much is not enough. I put people off because either I'll over ramble about stupid crap, thinking this is what they want to hear, or I don't know, like, just random lame stuff, just talking about, like, I don't know, like, whatever random thing, like movies or something, or, like, stuff like that. Just, like, small talk, I guess. And, like, either I get people who are, like, really interested in being friends with me, and then that's it. I'm good at luring people in to be friends, but I'm not good at keeping friends. I'm, like, really interesting and zany, and then I, like, burn out really quickly and have no fucking energy or personality left because of how drained I get. You know? And it kind of sucks because it's like one moment I'm this outgoing, bubbly, happy, really excitable queer person bonding with other people over things like fashion or history or similar fandoms, just bonding with people, connecting, and being very outgoing and very charismatic. But, like, long term, I kind of become more worn down, and I don't seem to be that person so much anymore, and they no longer hold much interest in me. Like, they no longer have much interest in me. And it's sad. It is. But I still love those friends. You know? Even if we're not on similar paths, I still love those friends and wish them well. Because it's like, ultimately, it's not anyone's fault. Like I said, I don't have any kids or responsibilities or anything. Oh, wait, did I say that? I can't remember if I said that in this video, take 2, or if I said that back in take 1, which has been deleted. I raised my siblings, so I did my time, in my opinion, and that's that. And the raising the siblings thing was where I got into oversharing. I will get into it more in the future, don't get me wrong. Like, I will get into, like, my past a little bit more, probably. But, like, I'm not gonna give it all to you at once. This is my story, right? So, I gotta draw you in, keep you interested. I'm the author, right? I don't know, I'm just being silly. I used to actually write a lot. And I actually have had a couple of books that I've been working on writing for a few years now. And it's really cool. It really is. Like, they're, like, one of them is, like, this dystopian sci-fi horror novel I'm working on. Oh, but crossed with, like, fantasy a little bit. Like, that's one of the ones I'm working on, and that one I've been working on the longest. It's been in the works for well over 10 years. It would also make an excellent tabletop game, apparently, according to my fiance, who's very into, like, D&D and other games like that. And then the other one is I'm not going to talk about because I actually want that one to be published by a very specific company. I want to write a book for American Girl, for them to make a doll and, get to, based on the character that I create in the book. And I want to illustrate it too, because I actually am an artist. I can draw people really well. But I don't want to share any details about the book or the characters or anything, because they like to be very secretive about that kind of stuff. So I can't reveal anything if I'm ever to have any hope. But I really do hope so, because I would love to be cemented in American Girl history of that company, because, like, I've always been very fond of their dolls and their books. Cecile is my favorite. She's my holy grail, actually. And she's really expensive because she had a very short run. She only was produced for about 2 years, I believe. I remember when she debuted, I saw her on the cover of the catalog. I wish I still had that catalog, but my father doesn't care about other people's things, so he threw them away. And that breaks my heart. But when she debuted, I had the catalog, and I saw her on the cover, and I was like, I love her. And instantly I was like, I need to have her, And, of course, coming from the household I came from, of course that wasn't going to happen. So by the time I got her, I was definitely an adult. And, I had to get her second hand. She's in excellent condition. This is Cecile. Look at my beautiful baby. She has the most prettiest eyes. And she's wearing this, like, my favorite dress from their collection. It's her best friend's dress, but I don't care. I don't plan on getting the best friend doll. I'm just getting all of the best friend doll's clothes for Cecile so that doubles her wardrobe. I'm, like, really crazy. I put the ribbons in her hair myself. Like, those are not her original ribbons. I added Valentine-themed ribbons because I went to American Girl back in February, right when they were about to close down. I was visiting the store one last time in Columbus. And it's really sad that we lost that store because I loved it so much. It made American Girl more accessible to me because they had a store right there in Columbus. But yeah, that's my beautiful baby, Cecile. Her story takes place in New Orleans. She is a free person of color, and she comes from a family with a lot of money. She has tutors and takes, vocal classes, like, for singing, and everything. And she even, like, she's very educated. Like, she's properly educated. She's very wealthy. And I actually really love her. And her story takes place in New Orleans, and I am obsessed. Oh, gosh. And I found a dress in this antique store that I literally adore, and I want it to be, like, my wedding dress. It's so beautiful. It's from the 1850s, which is Cecile's same era, and it's pink with lace, and it's so pretty, and it's so silky. Satin didn't exist back then, right? Oh, my gosh. So it's probably actual silk. Probably. I don't know. I know a little bit about, like, fashion back then, but a lot of my knowledge is a little bit later. The mid-1800s I'm not as knowledgeable of. I'm more knowledgeable of the later 1800s, so the 60s, but more so the 70s, 80s, and 90s specifically. Like, I really am knowledgeable about that area. But I intend to become more knowledgeable of the earlier to mid 1800s. But yeah, like, it's really beautiful and I love it. And pink is my favorite color. Pink and yellow are my favorite colors. And so, like, seeing it, and I was like, wow. And it's, like, perfect. And I know exactly how it's supposed to look. I know the silhouette of the era. And it's like, wow, this is a dress directly from the same era as Cecile. And and you won't believe how cheap it is. Oh my gosh. Like, $50-something. Like, it's $60 for this dress that is over 70 years old. Like, that's insane. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm flabbergasted by how cheap that is for something that old, and it's in such great shape. I think it's because of the fact that in the area that I live, a lot of people would not be able to fit it. Intriguing. But I'm relatively small, so I could. Yeah. Sorry, I like to rock a lot. I'm autistic, so I stim. I'm really thirsty, and I know this is not helping, but it tastes so good. It's so yummy. Being very dainty, sipping at it, because I know I'm running out, and I'm like, I must ration this last few sips. No, but in all seriousness, I'm gonna go grab another can of ginger ale so that I can just pour it into my Bratz cup and be like, okay, I'm thirsty, I'm gonna just take a drink. It'll make me, like, I guess, burp more, and I'm sorry about that, but what can I do? Oh, I want to show you guys one of my favorite Bratz dolls. Okay, the lighting sucks in here. It's Kylie. Yeah, and like, look at her little shoes. It would have been really cool if, like, the bottoms of them were red or something. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I have a personal bias. I know that I do. What am I in here? Oh, yeah. I'm sitting here like, what am I in here for? Ginger ale. But my goal is to become such a major, like, influence in the fashion world. I want to have a Bratz doll made of me, like, made in my likeness, just the same as Kylie has. Kylie Jenner. I always get mixed up on which members of their family are Jenners and which ones are Kardashians. I have no idea. But I don't watch the show or anything, but everyone looks pretty as a Bratz doll. I haven't even taken a sip yet, but I have been sipping on that Coca-Cola, to be fair. But yeah, she's just so pretty. Like, I don't know. She's such a beautiful and elegant doll. I look forward to getting the other one, and I plan on getting the giant one too. Like, I'm also slowly been collecting the mini ones as well. So yeah, I love Bratz so much. My favorite Bratz are the ones from when I was a kid, like the early 2000s when they were wearing the Y2K fashions. Oh my gosh, they were fabulous. I loved them. I'm not gonna lie, Bratz actually have served as inspiration for me, fashionably speaking. Like, I remember in middle school, I was talking about myself, like, introducing myself, because, you know, when I went to middle school, we were a bunch of kids from a bunch of different schools, you know, coming together, and some of us transferred to different school districts during the time between elementary and middle school. Like, and I was one of these people. So this was my first time ever at any school from this particular school district. And it was just the beginning of 5th grade. And it was the beginning of the year. And we were asked to write something about ourselves. You know, write a little small thing about ourselves and read it to the class. So I did. And this other kid couldn't read my handwriting, I guess, because I got things, like, marked as if they were spelled wrong, even though I hadn't spelled them wrong, because I guess my K's looked like H's for some reason, which is so dumb. Let's just say I worked hard to correct that in the future, so it wouldn't ever be marked that way ever again. I made very sure to make sure that my K's were very clearly K's. But yeah, I don't know. I had written in there, and I had talked about, like, things, and then I used that iconic phrase from Bratz, you know, so I'm talking about myself a little bit, what I like to do, and I'm talking about I like dolls, I like fashion, and, you know, but the way that I worded that part where I'm talking about fashion, I was like, I have a passion for fashion. And I thought I was doing something unique. I thought I was, like, something special. Oh my god, by quoting the Bratz frickin' catchphrase. Oh. Like, tagline or whatever. But yeah, I thought I was doing something interesting there. Oh boy, how silly of me. But it's a very strong memory in my mind because I remember looking back a lot over the years as I have explored fashion and continued to have interest in exploring and getting into fashion. Like, ultimately, I would love to have a fashion line of my own, like to be a designer. Oh my gosh, that would be so lovely. Because I have interesting ideas and I have an understanding of fabrics. I sew, or at least I used to. I sewed for years. Kind of miss it. It's not so easy for me to sew anymore. It's a little hard to grip and focus on the needle. It hurts. I miss sewing. And I don't know how to use a sewing machine because I never really had one growing up. And so I still haven't had a chance to learn how to use a sewing machine, which sucks, but it is what it is. It's another one of those things that's just out of your control. But, like, I don't know. I guess this video is probably meandered on long enough. And I've talked about pretty much nothing this entire time. I'm pretty sure. Nothing of interest, anyway. But anyway, I guess I'll see you guys around. See you in my next video. I hope that you like this video. If you feel like it, like, comment, subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, have a great day, Angel Babes. Love you.